Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ah, no, I can't do it like that. That hurts. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is movie news today, guys. We're going to talk about all the big headlines of the day, including Inside Out 2, Face Off 2 is going to see the return of Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Cool, man. We'll talk about that trailer that dropped yesterday that everybody's talking about. The Watchers. No, not Deadpool and Wolverine. We can talk about that maybe in the post show. I want to talk about something that's a little bit dicey these days. AI art and AI trailers. I thought that would be an interesting discussion to have today on today's movie news. The movie news of today. Let's get into the first headline. This kind of broke yesterday, so Tom Holland talks plans for the fourth MCU Spider-Man film. Now, I guess he's going to be, helping to develop the story, and that's fine with me. I know some people may say, well, he's an actor, what does he know about storytelling? Well, guys, he's still part of the creative process, and he's played the character now for 3 films, and I got no problem with this. I'm not on that bench where it's kind of like, hey, he should just stick to acting. No. A lot of people do directing and acting, and all at the same time. So it's kind of like, okay, I got no problem with him putting inputs in there. But it's the question of where do we go? Well, being greedily beholden to the new trailer, Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, people have been, we've known that the Spider-Man 4 has been coming for a while, and we've heard that they've wanted to get it into production this fall. So if they haven't had a script idea yet, or like the story's still coming together, I highly doubt that it's going to shoot this fall, because Marvel would love to have this movie come out next year. I just don't see that happening. I see it maybe 2026 is what I'm thinking for the new Spider-Man movie in terms of its release. He was speaking with Deadline. He said this about the franchise, quote, "The simple answer is that I'll always want to do Spider-Man films. I owe my life and career to Spider-Man. So the simple answer is yes. I always wanted to do more." So then he goes on to explain, we have the best in the business working toward whatever the story might be, but until we've cracked it, we have a legacy to protect. The third movie was so special in so many ways, and that we need to make sure we do the right thing. Yes. So he adds that he's partially overseeing the story process from its conception. Well, this is the first time in this process that I've been part of the creative so early. It's just a process where I'm watching and learning. Okay, so he's learning the ropes too himself, right? It's just a really fun stage for me. Like I said, everyone wants it to happen, but we want to make sure we're not overdoing the same things. So that's a good point there, overdoing the same things. Because what do you do? You've kind of brought back all of the older Spider-Man villains. You can't do that again. Of course, there'll be a way to work back in Tobey and Andrew Garfield again, and you know that they would come back. Andrew loves playing Spider-Man. So the thing is that how do you do that without having like it be kind of like fan service, or just kind of like, well, here it is for the sake of it being there, kind of thing, right? So we're figuring it out. We're at the stage where it's post-strike, so we're waiting on those scripts to come in. We're giving the writers the time they need to hit the ground running. So basically, blah blah blah. It's working. It's a work in progress. I don't think anybody would I don't think people would be objecting to this. Anomaly. My fear is Sony, as they so often do, will take the wrong lessons from the success of No Way Home. At the end, we see Peter really isolated, and that a natural next chapter would be a film on a smaller scale. But that's not how Hollywood works with their sequels. They will almost certainly go bigger and more villains and more MCU characters. Heck, they may even try to bring. Yeah, no, I agree that they'll try to bring back Maguire and Garfield. But what I don't understand about Sony is that with the success of a $1 billion+ success as No Way Home, why are you not moving forward with a Garfield movie? Why are you not moving? I don't think Tobey Maguire would ever come back for a Spider-Man 4. I know there's been talk like in his universe. There's been talks about that, but I don't think I think we're everybody's for the most part okay if we don't continue on with more isolated Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. I know that there's still an appetite to see a third Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and you know that he would love to do it. So it's kind of like, yes, you got to work with the story. How would they logically be brought back in and have it work, kind of thing. And the best way that I feel like they could make that work, guys, Venom. Have them fight Venom. Uh, have Venom come in, and then you would, and if you could somehow bring Tom Hardy's Venom in, but it's kind of like Tom Hardy's Venom is not really the bad guy, right? And he's already fought Carnage, so it's kind of like it would be nice if Venom went to get Spider-Man's help, and then first they butted heads to try to fight Carnage. Like there was a storyline. There's a storyline there that could be done, and then he's kind of like, well, how is he like going to bring in the other Spider-Man to help? There's easy ways to do that in the MCU now, right? And for the most part, yeah, it's kind of like, oh, the portal's going to open up and they'll come out. Okay, fine. How and why? Well, whatever. Most people will just roll with that kind of stuff, I think. Cautiously excited about this. I don't trust Sony one bit with their Spider-Verse output. Well, yeah, because of Madame Web and whatever's going to happen with Craven the Hunter. Yeah, they just don't seem to have any idea of what they're doing. Like Sony, I totally get the skepticism with the way that Sony has handled their properties. Arglass Viking says Marvel could have a 2025 release for Spider-Man 4 around Christmas if Sony doesn't throw the spanner into the works. Yeah, which they have done in the past, kind of thing. Even with their own properties, like Craven. Like Craven was supposed to come out this year. It's done. Craven's done. It's just sitting in the can. But then they pushed it an entire year because of, I guess they felt that maybe Madame Web was going to come and crash and burn. No, it was going to come out before Madame Web. So I don't know what the heck they're thinking. Yeah, all this skepticism in Sony's abilities to handle the property is justly found. For sure. I wonder if we'll get a more mature Spider-Man movie, and maybe that's a way to work it. See, the way I would work it is I would have it. See, we got Andrew there. Have a third Spider-Man movie with Andrew, like older, and then have him kind of come in and mentor the Tom Holland one, kind of thing, or like in for the fourth Spider-Man movie. That's the way that I would have, because I don't know if we would need Toby back. You would put buttons in seats, and you would make $1 billion, Sony and Marvel. So I don't understand why this trigger has been so hard to pull, kind of thing. But I do agree with what Tom Holland was saying that they have to be careful, right? They have to be careful because if they come out and Rebel Moon all over this thing, then most people will be kind of like, oh God, what are we doing here, guys? For God's sakes. Way to ruin a franchise. Sorry, did I just throw some shade at Zack Snyder? Yes, I did. All right, let's move on. Okay, so if you guys like this kind of stuff, you like movie news and talking about movie news stuff, follow me on all the other social media handles there. Sometimes you get behind the scenes looks at stuff going on, like me going into the theater and stuff. And you see extended versions of like the shorts that I publish of like my ranking videos, which I'm going to do later on today, perhaps, for the new Taylor Swift album. Yes, I am a Taylor Swift fan. Okay. Now, while everybody was talking about the Wolverine and Deadpool trailer yesterday, a new trailer for The Watchers debuted. Now, I haven't watched this yet because I was working all day yesterday, and by the time I was done, I was whipped. So, I confess, I kind of like Rebel Moon Scargiver Hourglass says. Well, yeah, to each their own. I don't know if I'm going to give it a chance or not. We'll talk about it when we get to that part of the story. All right, let's make sure I got the audio switched over, James. Perfect. The Watchers is a movie from M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, starring Dakota Fanning. Cool. Let's check it out. Trailer. Trailer number
I'm going
2.
out tonight. Try not to die. I thought you couldn't talk.
Oh. It's kind of like sort of home invasion, maybe?
Don't look at me like that. It's just something I do sometimes.
Maybe? It's like they all go to a cabin in the woods. And then that's what the first trailer... Oh, that's beautiful. That was a beautiful shot. Yeah, and then people just go missing in this forest. I just realized I had music playing, guys. If the music cuts out the live stream, I apologize. Don't worry. I like the tone. This reminds me of Shades of the Ritual. Right? The Ritual? Which is fantastic. I love The Ritual.
You have 5 seconds before the door is sealed. 5.
Oh, wow.
4, 3, 2.
Okay, I'm on board. From producer M. Night Shyamalan.
What is happening? What is this place?
I don't mean to scare you, but we haven't much time. It's not wise to keep them waiting. They'll be very interested in someone new.
It's a window on the other side. They come every night.
And they watch us.
It's a window. How do they know that?
What is that? What is it doing?
You hear that?
Applause. For you mean it.
So they're like prizes. Wow.
How long have you been here?
I don't know.
And you've never seen one.
No one sees one and survives.
Color palette. Cinematography. It's rich, isn't it?
For a reason.
I'm not supposed to be here. And I'm not staying here.
They allow us to live because we follow their rules. You have broken too many.
So some kind of social experiment?
What did he see?
Well, it does look like there are creatures, right? Try not to die.
I saw myself.
Ooh.
Someone's out there. Please open the door.
John? My husband's outside.
This is a trick.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Okay. The Watchers. Yeah. I definitely definitely got tones of The Ritual in there, but it's also kind of like I don't know, Trapped or something like that, Cubed. I don't know. Let me just turn on the YouTube chat here. Bifer says, "Yo." Arglass says, "I think The Watchers was filmed near Viking set in Wicklow, Ireland. I recognize the lakes in the opening shot." Okay, well, yeah, the beautiful locations. Let's just take a look at that shot. There was yeah, this. You're talking about this location, like that's breathtaking. Like you can make a painting out of that. That's wow. Yeah, that took my breath away. But then the forest also. The greens, like this is Shauna Lynch, or it was Shauna Shyamalan's first film, right, ever that she's done, but it's produced by her father, right? So she's going to be mentored very well. Shauna Night Shyamalan, okay. But it's good to see Dakota Fanning back. Let's see what the comments say. Been interested in seeing her grow up in films. She is a phenomenal actress. Dakota is amazing. So you got the Dakota Johnson fans out there. This is practically an episode of season 5 of the X-Files. I don't know about that. I wasn't getting X-Files vibes. I was getting... let me put in my comment. Tones of The Ritual. And breathtaking scenery. Yeah. Breathtaking scenery. Breathtaking cinematography. No, let's put in scenery. Cinematography. Sign me up. There you go. There's my comment. But yeah, that looked good. Don't worry, Denzel Washington will save her. What? Yeah, so it seems like it's a creature feature, right? It does. A young artist gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland, okay, where after finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside three strangers stalked by mysterious creatures each night. Now, it could be creatures or it couldn't be, the Shyamalans, they kind of like to like switch and bait kind of thing. But it looks like this is a really solid start, isn't it? Dakota Fanning, Owen, sorry, I'm going to butcher that last name. I can't pronounce that. Georgina Campbell, Siobhan Hewlett. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I can't. Some of the last names I I would butcher. So, but it looks good, man. I'm on board with that. June 14th. Cool. Wait a minute. So, yeah, that's just around the corner, not that far away. What did you guys think about the trailer for The Watchers? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. If you like this kind of things, hey, we just recorded this live. We do a live movie news show during the week, so come join us here on Mirror Domains, and hey, we'll talk about all the trending movie news topics, and I think you'll like us here. Okay, Arglass says Dakota Fanning was great in the Alienist series with Daniel Bruhl. Oh, well, yeah. I don't know if I saw that one, but Daniel Bruhl is awesome. And she's awesome, too. It's good to see her working. She took a lot of time off there, right? I don't know if she was going to school or starting a family or whatever. I'm a fan, but not that close of a fan. All right. Let's move on with some more movie news. Inside Out 2 comes out this summer as well, guys, so let's take a look at this story. Inside Out 2 director revealed why a major emotion was left out of the film. Well, there's a couple of emotions left out from the first one, too, right? So what's going on here? It was fun to watch. Inside Out 2 cuts shame for a lighter, more enjoyable viewing experience. Was shame part in the first one? Shame? Was shame in the first one? I can't remember. Shame, Inside Out. Embarrassment. Was that what it is? Embarrassment? Shame emotion character. To keep it a little bit more lighthearted, I guess. I got no issues with that. I don't have a whole lot of stake. I really enjoyed the Inside Out. We did a Grumpy Man Reacts to it, which we need to get back into. I need to start doing that again. But I guess I need to re-sign up for Disney Plus then if we're going to be doing a lot of the kids stuff. But whatever. The wrap. It was not fun to watch. It was not fun. It was too heavy. You know, when you see a good movie and you're like, man, that was a great movie. You want to see it again? No, not really. There are movies like that. Yeah, there's totally movies like that. Like 12 Years a Slave kind of thing, where you're just kind of like, well, that was a really good movie. I don't know if I want to watch it again, though, kind of thing, right? It's just because of the subject matter. And I guess for kids, I don't know, though. I kind of like that they weren't sugarcoating things in the first one, right? When dealing with like letting go of invisible friends and stuff like that, and dealing with a bit of sorrow and anxiety. So well, we'll see how it works. June 14th is when Inside Out 2 comes out. As I said, I don't really have a whole lot of stake in it, and the way that I would look at it is kind of like, well, as long as it serves the story, right? As long as it serves what they're trying to deliver to us. I'm totally fine with cutting things out if it makes the story tighter. Totally. But we'll have to see. Inside Out 2, June 14th, will not have the shame character. This one I like. Face Off 2. Face Off sequel has been rumored for a while now. Face Off sequel is now rumored to have both John Travolta and Nicolas Cage returning. We should do a full live watch along for this one if I can find it. It's silly. It totally is. There's no way that you could ever believe that, because John Travolta just has a bulkier frame, like that there's the same body type, but they have fun with it, and the fact that both Travolta and Nicolas Cage had fun with it, that translated to the screen, which made it super entertaining for us to see them start off as the bad guy and then switch roles, kind of thing. They were just having fun as actors. So there were rumors that the sequel would have to deal with their children or something like that. And then it was going to be like the daughter or something like that. Or I don't know how that's going to work. But if they're both coming back for it, you're just kind of left with the question of, well, how is that going to work? Because if you don't know, Castor Troy was dispatched rather violently in the first movie. So, yeah, I don't see how that's going to work. Now, could they do a cheesy B movie, a trope of saying, well, they took him to the hospital in the beginning and we've got a heartbeat, beep, 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 beep. It's the return of Durant. What was that? They did that for Darkman 2, right? They could do something like that. But as I said, it's very B movie-esque. Was Face Off a B movie? It had a big budget. John Woo. And unfortunately, Face Off is one of those movies that does not hold up very well to the 4K scrutiny or like higher definition, because you can just blatantly see that for the big stunts, it's stuntmen. Like, I appreciate the efforts that they went through, like, because I have a high appreciation for stunt work. You watch any of my reactions and stuff, as soon as I see like practical stunt work being done, I'm always championing it. So it's kind of like they can fix that now with putting their heads on their bodies or whatever. But we'll have to see how this goes. Let's see. Prior to this, it was concept of Castor's and Sean's children. Yeah, so that just corroborates what I just told you. I think Face Off is a sequel that lends itself to a lot of twists and turns and unpredictability. It's almost like if you factor in the idea of offspring of the children. This is Nicolas Cage's quote here, talking about when he met Adam Wingard, who was developing the sequel. Oh, Adam Wingard from Godzilla X Kong. And isn't he doing the Thundercats too? Anyway, John Travolta and myself, it's four of us ping-ponging and going at different levels, and it becomes even more complex. So Wingard was adamant about doing the sequel with both stars returning. He says, quote, look, I mean, like, the only way that we're going to do this really is if we get, the original cast. I'm not going to say how it works or anything, but like, it's got to be 100% the real follow-up, not just some fan service movie, not just some ka-ching thing. This has to feel like the ultimate follow-up to the original film. Well, you kind of told your story and finished and concluded your story. So it's kind of like, well, what more is there to tell? You could go on to talk about how Nicolas Cage's character, or sorry, no, it's Travolta was the good guy, right? Travolta had to deal with like the fallout of raising Castor's son, because that's what happened at the end of the first one, right? There's some material there that could be enough weight that you could sink your teeth into it, right? Argyle says maybe they will say Castor Troy put a copy of his face on a decoy and made his escape totally stretched, but I have no idea how they'll perform this workaround. Yeah. And as I said, it lends itself to easy, explainable kind of B-movie shenanigans. and I think most people will be fine with that. It's no big deal. So when would this movie be coming out? If they're still batting around ideas, and as I said, if Adam Wingard, I think would be a great choice to direct this, because John Woo's not going to come back. John Woo crashed and burned with his last movie last year. Nobody went to see it, and the people that did said that it was not very good. Uh, he's lost his touch, so I don't know. He's and John Woo's that's not John Woo's fine. John Woo's he went back to Hong Kong, right, and was making movies over there. It's just the Hollywood. I don't think. Yeah, but I'd be on go. I'd totally be on board with Adam Wingard coming on for that. What do you guys think? What do you think about the possibilities of Face Off 2? Do you want them to come back for this? If there's any updates, as I said, I'm a fan of the first one. And it would be fun if we could do a full live watch along. Let's see where that is streaming, actually. Because I don't think it's on Netflix. It says it's on Prime. Is it on Prime? Huh. Let me just pull up my Prime account here and see if it's listed there. Links. Prime. The Beekeeper's on Prime right now. We're sure we could watch that. We'd have fun with that, wouldn't we? Face Off. Free trial, but I don't have a trial. I have it. What are you doing? What do you mean free trial of Paramount Plus? Oh, okay, so it's on Paramount Plus. I don't have Paramount Plus. Bummer. Bummer, man. It'll come around. These movies get shopped around to the different streaming services. So whenever it comes around to the Netflix or Prime or whatever, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. There's so many quotable lines in there too. Okay, moving on. We dwelled on that a little bit too long. Alien Romulus is a movie that I'm really looking forward to. The star Kaylee Spaney says the film will deliver everything fans want. Well, what fans want is some kind of cohesive narrative that ties it into the rest of the universe. It doesn't have to be tied into the Covenant storyline with David and how xenomorphs or the big aliens, the engineers, how the engineers were working with it. It doesn't have to tie into anything like that. The only thing, like, I really like the way that the trailer plays on the big screen. My only apprehension is that it seems like, yeah, people like being closed off in the closed corridors stuff again because it reminds them of the first movie. It's a trip down memory lane. Just don't be too close to that. Maybe try to open up the box a little bit more with it. Is the way I think. But I'm on board with it because if you don't know, I am a huge Kaylee Spaney fan. I liked her in Civil War. I loved her in Priscilla. If you haven't seen Priscilla, guys, and you want to see what kind of acting chops that Kaylee Spaney has, go check out Priscilla. And then, of course, what the Craft legacy she started off in. So she's a really good actress, and I'm really looking forward to it. From Fede Alvarez. Let's take a look at her quote here. Spaney told Cinepop, quote, I don't think I can say much, but I already delivered something. I'll just repeat it. It takes place between Alien and Aliens in terms of plot and chronology, but we have an incredible cast, new faces. The facehuggers are there. You will get everything you want from the film. Fede Alvarez is an incredible director who has so much respect for this franchise and this world. He knows everything about the Alien franchise like the back of his hand. Well, that's good. And all Alien fans will have everything they want. Close quote. Well, it's good. And I have no doubt that Fede Alvarez, because he did the Evil Dead remake of 2013, right? He's immersed in horror. And we've seen directors like Radio Silence who are immersed in horror come in with these projects, and then their knowledge of it pays off. So I totally trust Fede Alvarez, and I'm looking forward to the cast. But it's kind of like blanket statements. Like, does it really mean anything? Does that really mean anything to deliver everything a fan wants? Because sometimes you don't know what you want from it. You gave us the premise, but and what really blows people away is when you watch a movie and you get something, you get what you want, but then it also gives you something that you didn't know that you wanted. And that's kind of hard to quantify, kind of thing. But it happens. It does happen. That was a lot. For me, it was like I could say that Avatar 2 was kind of thing, a little bit like that. I thought they were going to go into the whole subplot with unobtainium again, but then it just went into the more the family aspect. I didn't think that I wanted that, but then I wanted that. So it's kind of like that was awesome. Our Glass Viking says Alien is set in a familiar time after the first Alien movie, so the tight spaceship architecture design would justify be justifiable, be the same. Okay, yeah, I guess maybe I could see that. Prepare for jump scares. Yeah, jump scares for sure. But I just want the grotesqueness of like the birthing of it and it being on your face. Uh, that kind of stuff kind of like lost all of its luster when the Alien versus Predator franchise came. Right, it was kind of like, oh, there's the face hugger. Oh, it's on him. Oh, it's coming out. No, no, I want it like the crunching sounds of it breaking through the rib cage and just kind of like people getting sick beforehand and yeah, like the body horror aspect of it, right? That's what I would want. But I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Alien Romulus comes out this August, guys. This August. And I just hope it. Aside from what the movie's plot, I just want it to reinvigorate the franchise enough that it gets people's appetites wanting more. Because I like the universe, uh, and I like the tone of the feel of that universe because it feels visceral, right? Of kind of like not just kind of like really hard edged kind of stuff. All right, what's next? Melissa Barrera. Let's continue on with some more horror lines here. Melissa Barrera's Scream exit makes Skeet Ulrich's return all but impossible. Yeah, who is it that Chris Schober really likes the Scream franchise, right? And he was always curious about Scream 7 headlines. Yeah, Melissa Barrera is so awesome. If you haven't seen Abigail, guys, she's just every time she's on screen and whatever she's doing, she's just like wow. She's got talent, and she's not going to be in Scream 7. And if you don't know sorry, spoiler alert, she's the daughter of Skeet Ulrich from the first movie. So it's kind of like she sees flashes of him like in the mirror as it's being suggested that she's kind of like psychotic like him too, which made a very fascinating narrative. But because she's not in it, there's no real way that you could have Skeet Ulrich come back again unless you did some kind of recovered archived footage of him interacting in a scene that you didn't see before kind of thing. I don't, but like it kind of sucks for him too, but I think that one is pretty much a given. I just wanted to pull that headline. Nev Campbell's coming back for this one, as well as Courtney Cox, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding. No, that's Scream 6, James. What are you doing? No, but who is it? Yeah. I know. I think it's okay. But talking about Abigail, she was in Abigail with Dan Stevens. How Dan Stevens became Hollywood's go-to guy for, well, anything. I don't know if he's a go-to guy. Where did I first see Dan Stevens? It wasn't in Downton Abbey. I was late to the party for Downton Abbey. I think was it The Guest or whatever? Was he in that? Abigail, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Yeah, he was really good in Godzilla: The New Empire. So I'd put him in everything. He's a good actor, and very versatile. He's proving himself to be versatile in the aspects of he can be in the big Hollywood blockbusters like Godzilla X Kong, and then he can be in smaller films where in like Abigail, where he transforms his he's seems to be really good at changing his accent because he's got a rather thick British accent. I think, right? Is he, unless he's fooled me, because he was on Downton, right? An English actor, yeah. Dan Stevens was in Eurovision with Will Ferrell. Oh, The Guest, yeah, that's the one, 2014. Impressive resume. And yeah, he's been around for a while, but I think now it's kind of like we're hitting the gas pedal with him. Oh yeah, he was in Cabinet of Curiosities for that one episode, and he was kind of like the talk show suave host in that one, right? So yeah, he's got a lot of versatility. He can be the pretty boy, like as we've seen in Downton Abbey. Then he can also be kind of like the sleazy talk show host. And then if you see him kind of be like in Abigail, kind of like a hard hitting kind of ex cop kind of role. Yeah. Argyle says Ghostface changes, so why wouldn't the target change too with the motive? Storyline would be an interesting issue. Yeah. Yeah, with I don't know where they're going with Scream 7. The only thing that I think of that could try to tie in some of the legacy is just have, I know people cringe sometimes, but just have Stu's parents come for revenge of some kind. That's it, right? That's the way I would go. But Abigail, directors explain unexpected cameo. I was like, what do you mean cameo? Was there a cameo in there? Not really. The cameo they're talking about is Matthew Good, but we know that Matthew Good was listed in the IMDb. Talking about Downton Abbey, Matthew Good is also in Downton Abbey, and it was kind of cool to see them both kind of have a scene together where they're acting with each other. So that was cool. They both played the husband of Mary. Although Matthew Good kind of washed out of the show towards the end. He didn't really appear in the last movie of the Downton Abbey movies. But anyway, I digress. I don't really know what cameo. Yeah, I don't really call that a cameo. The video I want to make of Abigail, it's a small short because there's a scene in the movie that has Woody Woodpecker. I don't want to play that scene because it's what it was a really bad cartoon, Woody Woodpecker. But every now and then, like, he was a crazy bird, so he would respond in kind. Yeah, I'll post a video about that later on today, maybe. All right, guys, the topic that just seems to be kind of like pulling teeth. Rebel Moon Part 2. Rebel Moon 2 stretch across 6 films as Zack Snyder redefines the trilogy format. No, guys. Sadly, it's not going to happen. Rebel Moon is not going that far. Let's just pull up the tomato meter. Has it changed? Has it changed? I don't. Okay, so Child of Fire was 21% with 57. Part 2 is 15%. 52. Like, I'm a movie fan. And I'll give even the worst types of movies a chance. But because this is part 2 of a movie that I didn't really like in the first place, the first part, I mean, like I didn't like the first movie, like I have zero interest to watch this. And I feel like I've got 2 hours. If I sit down and watch it, it's kind of like, well, that's 2 hours I can't play guitar. That's 2 hours of painting I can't do, and I just bought some new canvases. I want to do some painting. That's 2 hours I can't have back, kind of thing, right? And it's going to be kind of like I'm not really on board with watching it, so I don't think I will. Because what's the point in that? That seems like torture. Like it seems like masochism to me for me to sit down and watch part 2. And I know it would be good to watch it just so I could add it to the worst list of the year. or the worst list of the month kind of thing. It's just not in me, guys. It's not in me, because every now and then you see these projects and you just got to cut bait and say, well, not for me. And it sucks because I like her. I want to see if I was hoping for some redemption. I was hoping that people would come out of Rebel Moon and tell me good things. But yeah. Like if it was like 93% like Doom Part 2 or Late Night with the Devil kind of numbers, I'll be like, okay, fine. I'll give it a shot. Let's do it. But it's kind of like Zack Snyder even says himself that he's borrowed scenes from his scrapped Justice League 2 movie, which I guess this is like the last bastion of him trying to like get excitement to the film. Hey, remember I was going to do a Justice League Part 2? Well, that got scrapped. So I kind of reused it for Rebel Moon 2. So you'll see a version of that in this film. Come see my movie. Oh, I don't want to. Sorry, Zach. I'm out. That's it. So, yeah. With numbers like this, I don't see it happening. I don't see it continuing on. And let's just not beat a dead horse here. Let's move on to some more interesting topics. That's why I just needed to address that. AI art and trailers, AI like posters and stuff, I guess is a really point of contention for a lot of people. It's not for me. I see an AI art all the time on like my Pinterest page of somebody else's head stuck on somebody else's bodies, and I'm just like, whatever. Move on. William Shatner is talking about it. He defends using his AI for hideous new album cover. Wow. His small head with a weird proportioned body, a fat body. It looks like some people are built like that. They got like really thick legs, but his head is just what the heck is going on? Like that's terrible. That's bad AI art. Like out of all the AI art out there, you couldn't have found a better use for that one. I know there's people out there like, you shouldn't be using AI art because it takes away from the real artists that make the pictures. And it's like, I don't get on that horse. It's like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be happening for the rest of time now that we have those tools available to us. And if you're a good artist, then you will use those tools to help and develop your own material. So I'm not like saying like use it all the time, but I'm saying that I don't. It's the easy way to do it. Yeah, it takes away work from people, but it's kind of like some industries die out, man, and it sucks. I think artists will always have a place. If you're a good artist, if you're a really good artist, people will find your work because it gets passed on. Anyway, William Shatner did the portrait artists of the 19th century storm the House of Giroux over the development of the camera. And compared to cameras today, they are very antiquated. So let progress happen. It's clearly meant to be an AI in its simplest form because it's a children's album. Yeah. I guess he did like a children's album, right? But he made some interesting points. Yeah, like when the camera came around, were the people so vocal about it? And there's tools out there, guys, that you look through a little device and you can trace the outlines of things. And artists have been using that for centuries. Does that take away from the art? No. It's about like composition, placement of things, uh, contrast and colors. What are you using, kind of thing, right? So I'm I'm not somebody who frets over the AI use, but it does create some very interesting things. And I'll tell you this too, and this is one of the reasons why I want to watch this. There was an AI trailer released for Bond 26 with Henry Cavill as Bond. Fake art, obviously. People want to see Henry Cavill as Bond. This seems to be like the only way that we're going to get it, because Barbara Broccoli, the people who own the property of Bond, have made it clear they want to go young, right? So it's kind of like this is the only way that people are going to see it, by putting together these fake AI trailers. And if you're like, well, it's only a couple of people, James. No, it's not. 3.4 million people want to see this happen, right? So Margot Robbie in there, whatever. Bond girl. She would be a fantastic Bond girl. There is a huge market out there for these fake trailers. And I kind of like, I've always had this idea of, like, from my industry of like supply chain and stuff, there's the ideas of pushing stuff to market and then pulling to market. Supermarkets are pushing stuff out to the market. Here's a bunch of stuff that we bought, we're putting on the shelves. You come in and see if you like it or not. And when you're pulling something is when you get demand for it, and then you're like, oh, somebody wants me to make this for them? Okay, I'll go out and make it for them because that's what they want. That is being pulled out to the market, right? And if you can tap into that, that's kind of like, well, people want this, so we're giving it to them. We're not telling people that this is what people want to see, right? We're not telling people that they want to see a new Rey movie in the Star Wars universe, because nobody's saying that we want to see a Rey movie in the next Star Wars movie. You're telling us. But people are saying that we want to see a Henry Cavill James Bond. If you use the pull principle here, there's a way that you can make a Bond movie with Cavill. Don't make it huge expensive. Like, it doesn't have to be big and flashy like every other Bond film. It doesn't have to belong. Bond has had people come in and out of it where it's not. It doesn't have to be this thing where it gets bogged down with this idea of, well, we can only have the next Bond if he's going to be Bond for 12 or 15 years. Sorry, it hasn't been like that in the past. George Lazenby would have to say something about that, right? So why couldn't you just do a quick little one-off with Henry Cavill? Feed that fan base that's clamoring for this, that wants this, right? And make you a little bit of cheddar on the side. Can someone please start a petition to make Henry the next James Bond? I have nothing against Aaron Taylor Johnson, but we all know Henry was the best fit for this. Yeah. So the points that I want to make are like the push and pulling to market. There's people wanting to see it. So why not give it to us? That's what I don't fathom out there. It's kind of like, well, you don't let the fans tell you what you want to see. Yeah, but they're not telling you what the story is going to be here. They just want to see the casting. And there's nothing wrong with the castings of things, is there? It's just people get fixated on this idea of it's got to be 10 or 15 years kind of thing. And in certain cases, it's merited, right? Blade is an example of this right now in the MCU. Of Mahershala Ali's going to be 50 by the time they start shooting the next Blade movie, and then you want him to be 60 by the time they're done his little run there. I don't know, man. See, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That's where it's like pertinent, right? Because you don't want to. If you're going to just have a one-off Blade movie, fine. But it's not like it depends. It depends on the property where it's going to be used, right? So what do we see here? We got trailers in here for The Mummy with Keanu Reeves. We got trailers that show the Red Hulk. People want to see the Red Hulk. Why not give it to them? Work that part of. I think we are going to get the Red Hulk. I don't know if it's going to be in Thunderbolts or not, or Captain America: Brave New World. But I think we eventually will get the Red Hulk. Yeah. So those are just some interesting ideas that I thought we could talk about there for AI art and AI in trailers. Maybe I'll publish a short about that trailers thing there, because I think there's enough meat there that could pique people's curiosities. For a quick little short, you may get maybe 500 views or so. All right, let's move on to some hit or miss headlines. If it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. El Paso elsewhere, everywhere. El Paso elsewhere. Lakeith Stanfield to star in Vampire Hunter video game adaptation. So, Lakeith Stanfield is a good actor. Yeah, my first exposure to him was in Get Out there. But he was the best part of that reboot of Haunted Mansion. And there were talks about him being Silver Surfer, which he still could be. But it kind of got overshadowed with the announcement of Julia Garner. Good actor, really good actor. So what is this? El Paso Elsewhere. I never played it. A third-person shooter game, which follows a vampire hunter named James Savage. I don't know if I like that name, but whatever. Who is on the hunt for his ex-girlfriend named Janet, a.k.a. Draculae, who sees to bring about the end of the world. So his girlfriend turned into a vampire. El Paso Elsewhere. Fascinating concept. Okay. Lakeith Stanfield, I'll be on board with that. We were just talking about Blade, Vampire Hunters. There's some drama there that could be interesting. I never played El Paso Elsewhere, so I don't have any stake in that. What do you guys think about that? Oh, no, we'll save that one for last. We'll save Taylor for last. This one's gross. Anne Hathaway opens up about gross early 2000s chemistry tests. So I guess for a movie that she was going to star in, the idea of you, actress, back in auditions and stuff, whenever somebody would come in to do a screen test, which they would read lines off of each other and stuff, I guess the producers wanted her to make out with every actor, which is, that's gross. That's, again, that's like old school dinosaur thinking. And that's got to change. That's got to be phased out of Hollywood. Hopefully it has. You'd like to think that it has by 2024, but I'm sure that stuff like this still kind of happens in the background. It's a practice that I would never, like if I were hiring an actress, I would just want to see them read. I want to see how they look on camera. I don't need to see if they look good kissing or not. So sucks that, actresses of her caliber have had to go through all of this stuff. But I agree that they should tell people, like, come out and say that this stuff happened. Put a light on it, right? So good for her. And I'm a big Anne Hathaway fan. Although she doesn't like to be called Anne. Right? Yeah. Okay. There was a side story here of The Exorcism. Russell Crowe horror film gets a June release. Wait a minute. He was in The Pope's Exorcist last year. The Exorcism, starring Russell Crowe, is to receive North American release. Yeah. Now, I actually didn't hate The Pope's Exorcist. I use it kind of like as a punching bag. But I would be open to see more in that universe, because he goes on and does other stuff, but he's in another type of exorcism movie. Fine. Coming our way from Miramax, producer Kevin Williamson. The Exorcism sees Crowe taking on the role of Anthony Miller, a troubled actor who begins to unravel while shooting a supernatural film. His estranged daughter wonders if he's slipping back into his past addictions or if there's something else more sinister at play. Okay. So, coming out in June, huh? Well, I like that premise. I like that log line. Remember at one point, all Lance Henriksen seemed to be doing was Bigfoot movies? Well, do you think what? That all he's doing is exorcism movies? Crow's just doing whatever work he can get a hold of right now. And he's still worthwhile seeing, even in those smaller movies that he does. What was that one? It was like Tailgate. He tailgates somebody about road rage or something. He's fine. Like, he's still good. Like, he's the best part of the Pope's Exorcist because he still carries the weight of a good champion actor kind of thing, right? Like, have you ever seen a bad line delivery from Russell? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I'd be interested in that. The Exorcism. Eyeglass says El Paso elsewhere could easily be set in the From Dusk Till Dawn universe. Yeah. Yeah, there's something about that tone, right? Maybe it's just the El Paso name to it. Arglass Viking says Russell Crowe is releasing a new music album with the Gentleman Barbers Band. Oh yeah, he's a musician too, right? Hey, so am I, so I respect that. I'd be on board for that. Unhinged. Oh yeah, that's what it was called. Unhinged. Yeah, and that was just a small little film that didn't cost a whole lot of money. Very straightforward premise. I enjoyed it too. I thought it worked. Okay, the story that I know a lot of people out there don't probably want me to talk about. Actually, let me pull up the song list. Let me pull up my my YouTube music list because I have listened to the album a couple times now. So let's just see if we agree. I've got 3 favorite tracks for the Taylor Swift Tortured Poets Department, and I just got a notification that hopefully it should be arriving in the mail by the end of the week. My vinyl, which is breaking records, by the way. It's a lot of people are buying this album. Okay, now I'm not somebody who's going to buy each different copy. There are Swifties out there that have buy like 5 or 6 copies of the same album, but just with different pressings and different styles. I'm not like that. I just pick one that I like and then I go for it. So Cassandra. So this is the anthology ones, right? The actual album only has 16 songs, which is why I published that confusing video that I had, because it was like, okay, she surprises fans on the release date that there's a double album out there, and I was like, well, did everybody get the double? Is it a double album, or is there the normal album plus a double album? That's what I was confused about. And why did the double album look like the album that I bought? But there is the normal album and then the anthology double album. I'm not going to buy the double album on vinyl, but because I got access to it on YouTube Music. So let's see, Peter, Chloe, and Sam. Yeah, I haven't listened to the entire anthology yet, and it just came out, so it's kind of like, wow, Tortured Post Department's all the way down in 23rd spot, huh? The Prophecy. Okay, I'll tell you what my top 3 are right now. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys is my number 1. What's the other one like? Who is Afraid of Little Old Me is my second. And I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, I think, is the third one. Those are my favorite 3. Who's Afraid of a Little Old Me? I like that one because I think with 10 songs in, it's the first song where she actually opens up vocally. You can hear her go up to her higher register. And I like that. It's because a lot of the album is her speaking. Because she's storytelling with this, right? It's like one of those types of albums. But with Who's Afraid of a Little Old Me, she goes up to the higher register, which I dug. And I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I was just listening to that in the gym this morning, so I dug that too. So let's see where those place. Prophecy, I Hate It Here, Fortnite, all the way. See her single, her first single's all the way down in the 20th spot. Wow. Uh, it's a good. I like the song. I know that's just shocking. The Albatross, number 19. The Alchemy, number 18. They say that one is about Kelsey, her current boyfriend. Whatever. I Look in People's Windows, 17. So Long London is also one people really like. Not surprised that's low. Love of My Life, LOML. I Can Fix Him. No, Really, I Can is 14. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys is 13. So not even in the top 10 is my favorite song is 13. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is 12. Manuscript is 11. So High School, I'm Gonna Get You Back is, I think that's one on the anthology. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, number 8. There you go. It's the top. Thank You, Amy. It's number 7. Black Dog. What? Isn't that one supposed to be like the secret song that you get on the albums? I don't know. Down Bad is also really good. I did a short of that yesterday that I forgot to publish, but Down Bad is good. It's kind of like again, it's one of those talking songs. It doesn't have a really robust chorus, but it's one that kind of like stays with you for a while. It's like, did I like that? I don't know. You listen to it again, and it's kind of like, okay, oh. And then you find yourself humming it. It's one of those types of songs. Down Bad. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Okay, so there's another one. The one where I say you can hear her sing. Number 4. Guilty as Sin is number 3. Florida. I'm not a big fan of Florida. That's probably one of my least favorite, actually. I skip it. I skipped it in the gym this morning. But Daddy, I Love Him is number 1. Interesting. Yeah. The orchestration of My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys is really addictive. Yeah. Hope it is the next single and gets a cool video. Yeah. Me too. I hope that one's. It just. Because her vocals do different things than just her talking to the microphone kind of thing. Which I have no problem with. It's just a style. All right, guys. So that's pretty much all I have in the can for today. I thought we would just go over the Twitterverse and round things up. Bifer says Russell Crowe singing in Les Miserables was terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit cringe, wasn't it? Adele. Sorry, I can't pronounce that last name. For Vanity Fair. Okay. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt for Vanity Fair. Yeah. Not this week, guys, but next week is Fall Guy, and I'm looking forward to that one. I just want to go in there with a big bag of popcorn and have a lot of fun. That's what I want for the Fall Guy. And I hear like the reception to the Fall Guy is that that's exactly what we're going to get. The early buzz. Civil War has surpassed 70 million at the global box office. Yeah, it didn't drop off as much as I thought it would. It was still number 1, right? Happy birthday to Dev Patel. Oh, Dev Patel, happy birthday. Green Knight. Yeah, when people say it was a dark film, like, look how dark that is. Let me brighten it up. But it was a stunning film. It's not going to be it wasn't for everybody, but they took a big swing with Green Knight, and I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. It was a good theatrical experience too. Josh O'Connor. First trailer for Atlas. Okay, that dropped. This is one that I want to watch. May 24th on Netflix. Jennifer Lopez goes out in space. Maybe we'll watch that one now. We'll watch that and we'll end the show on that. I just want to see if there's any big trending headlines here that perhaps I missed. Theo James. Zendaya doing the rounds for Challengers. I had a chance to go see Challengers last night, but I had to drive like half an hour to get there, and it was going to be like at 7 o'clock, and I just worked since like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, I was whipped. I didn't want to watch the movie. Tired, because I do want to watch. I will be watching Challengers this weekend, but you guys know that I'm not a big Luca Guadagnino fan. So I want to be in a fresh state of mind, not a tired, just get on with it kind of feeling mood, right? Uh, because I do want to give it its fair shake because of Zendaya, and I'm hearing good things about it too from Challengers. Anyone But You is now streaming on Netflix. Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. God, sorry, she's so stunning. Wow, it's the smile. Wow. Anya Taylor-Joy is Furiosa. Cool. That's the one I'm looking forward to in May. All right, let's end out by taking a look at that trailer. Let me just pull it up. I'm sure it's on my. Boy Kills World comes out this weekend too. That's the first one I'm seeing on Thursday. The first one I'm seeing is Boy Kills World. All right. So which one do I want to watch it on? We'll do one medium. Okay. Let's get this set up. Atlas. Atlas. Jennifer Lopez in space.
Good morning, Atlas. Time to wake up.
Wait, is that her name? Her name is Atlas?
Agent Atlas Shepard has spent years of her life
Mark
fighting
Strong.
the artificial intelligence
Cool.
known as Harlan. Originally engineered to advance
I
humanity,
didn't know he was going to be in this movie.
he instead nearly ended it.
Oh,
If you really want to try to capture Harlan, you need me on that mission.
she was really good in Mother.
Mayday.
The Mother last
We
year.
are under attack.
Because as an actress, I like her work. I'm sorry.
What do I do? Stop it!
Oh my god.
Okay, this is out of control.
Okay.
This planet is unstable and inhospitable.
Atlas, my name is Smith.
Is that really necessary?
Smith.
You're a computer program.
I'm driving through LA and out in Roscoe.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
No? What are you then?
I am a computer program named Smith.
No one likes a smartass Smith.
So it's like
We
a
don't
bot.
have much time. Harlan's planning an
A
attack.
bit.
Atlas.
Shang-Chi is in this?
Protocol is to keep you
Cool.
alive.
Same.
Simu Liu.
I don't need your help. I don't trust any AI.
Who does?
Smith?
Okay, this is out of control.
This
Atlas,
Memorial Day.
this won't work if you don't trust me.
Okay. Let's do this.
You everything I know about it. Know about it. Know about it. Know about it. Know
This is what it feels like to be you.
This is what it feels like to be us.
So they integrate,
I know about it.
kind of like the
Don't worry.
Pacific Rim.
We're simply the better versions of you.
Oh, so they're fighting AI.
If
So
we don't
Simu
stop
Liu is a
Harlan.
robot? Like, look at his
All
eyes.
life on Earth is doomed.
Everything I know about it.
Shit.
You're in my head, and the only thing you learn how to do is curse?
I'm an adaptive learner.
Who's the voice of the
Okay.
the
Let's
robot?
go, bitch.
Okay. So this is just music here, guys. Atlas. Hey. May 24th on Netflix. I think you sold me. Yeah, that sold me. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. I was expecting to hear Stand by Titanfall at any moment. I don't know what that is. Simu Liu is everywhere. No, he's not really. He's not. He showed up in Barbie and Shang-Chi. That's about it. A little more, and he'll catch up to Pedro. No. So there's somebody who doesn't know what the heck they're talking about. If J-Lo doesn't trust P. Diddy, what? It looks cool, completely cringe. What? lost me at Jennifer. So why are Jennifer Lopez haters coming out? This boggles my mind. Wrong actress? Jennifer Lawrence made more sense. What? What? So we got a bunch of haters in the comments section. Let me pull up the IMDb here, guys. I want to take a look at who the voice of the robot is. I thought it looked fine. Yeah, the CG looked a little bit meh, but I'm not watching it for that. From Brad Payton, Jennifer Lopez, Simu Liu, Sterling K. Brown. Yeah. Gregory James Cohan is Smith. Okay, so nobody that I recognize, from his voice at least. This is where you would want a little bit more of a famous voice as the robot. But Mark Strong, why not? Hey, it piqued my interest. It got me. Did it get you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Arglass says I'm getting the vibe of the Blue Beetle trailer in a good way, and the Adam Project. Yeah. And Netflix has been putting out these small little things. Guys, as I said, she was really good in The Mother last year. If your instinct is just to poo-poo all over this thing, I'd give it a chance. And when is that? May 24th? We could probably schedule up a full live watch along. In fact, that's what we're going to do. Out of respect for Jennifer Lopez. All right, guys, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. That's the show today. Hey, if you like this kind of thing and you like these trailer reactions, yes, we did a trailer reaction for the big one, Deadpool and Wolverine. That's up on the channel right now. And of course, we did full live watch-alongs for Fallout, the full season. Reacher, season 1 and season 2 are up on the channel right now as well. We got movie reviews for Abigail and Civil War, The First Omen, Monkey Man. And we did full movie reactions for Roadhouse. And of course, then we do movie news throughout the week whenever I got time to do it. It's live. Arglass Vikings, Byford to hop in the live chat. Always cool to see you two here. If you like it, come join us here on Mirror Domains. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.